Chapter 15. Dinner and a Show. A few days after Everett recruited you to be his sous chef on Antoine's show, creme de la creme, you find yourself on a flight to Paris. As the plane begins to its descent, you gaze out the window in awe of the city below. I don't think it's hit me that we're actually in Paris. Better come to terms with it soon. The competition starts tomorrow. There will be no mercy. You make it sound like we're walking into a battle. We might as well be. In the row ahead of you, Zara twists around her seat, waving her phone in your direction. That's a good line of thinking. And to bolster your defense, you've both booked on an appearance on the show must go on. Isn't that a late-night talk show? One and only. You two are going to be there. Charm the crowd, yuck it up with the host, and make sure everyone tunes in for the competition. Zara turns back in her seat and you lean towards Everett, keeping your voice low. If we don't win this thing, I lose my job. Everett, I'm glad you're with me on this. Cooking live on TV against Antoine. It's intimidating to say the least. He reaches for your hand over the table. Haven't you heard? We're on a force to be reckoned with. Oh, ratatouille! And before you know it, you've landed. Once you're free of the airport, Zara waves you and Everett towards the Champs-Élysées. She seems eager to get rid of us. No, she wants just to make ourselves presentable. Who do you think is going to be watching our interview? Anton, and you want us to look like we casually strolled off the runway. Striking a little fear into his sour heart before the competition isn't unappealing to me. Intimidation through fashion. Let's see what we can find. Once you're inside the trendy boutique, Everett changes into his trademark formal outfit. We need to find you a trademark look of your own. An elegant scarlet gown immediately catches your attention, and you approach the mannequin, taken with a distinctly French design of the embroidery and overskirt. That's the one. I agree. It's a perfect balance. Regal, but not stuffy. Flamboyant, but in good taste. If you want to get the audience's attention, this is the way to do it. Looks like we're kind of like going for a princess look. You do a little spin, checking yourself out in the mirror. This will be perfect for the show, don't you think? At Everett's silence, you turn to face him, staring at you with an unreadable expression. Don't tell me you hate it now. Not even close. Looks better on you than on the mannequin. Well, thank you. Zara better be happy I'm building buzz for the competition. As you head towards the exit, Everett sneaks another sidelong glance at you. All that and more, I'm sure. Before you can question it, Everett leads you to the hotel where you take some time to freshen up. That evening, you and Everett arrive at the Show Must Go On studio. As you're led through the backstage area by the PA, you hear the host talking boisterously to the live audience. Please welcome my next hosts, the stars of the new American culinary travel show, Everett Flint, Taste of the World. Everett and Lucy. Before you can catch your breath, you're whisked out on the stage to the audience's applause and big band music. Welcome, welcome. So this is where Pierce Brosnan went after years of not acting. Hi, everyone. He squints into the bright overhead lights, sitting on the couch beside Everett. He makes himself at home like he's done this a million times before. Firstly, I want to thank you for taking the time to stop by the show. Hey, anything for free publicity? Most of the audience laugh on cue. Right, I need to make sure people are excited to watch the competition. We're thrilled to be in the beautiful city, and congratulations on being the #1 talk show in the country, by the way. The host winks, looking genuinely charmed. I do like a guest who does her research, especially one who's so chic. What can I say? If I'm going on the best show, I have to look my best, too. We're happy to have a world-famous chef and a rising star in the house. Your show is certainly resonating with the people, especially since the two of you have your charms. You feel your heartbeat quicken at his tone. Everett arches an eyebrow. Tell us a bit about your experience working together. Well, here we go. I don't want to express myself. It's totally up to me. Working together was the honor of a lifetime. I never dreamed that I'd be working alongside one of the greatest chefs in the world. It's still surreal. And how does it feel, Mr. Flint, hearing your colleague say that? Lucy flatters me. The honor was mine, truly. Sounds like the two of you have a lot of respect for each other. Hard to come by in this industry. Yep, that's most industries, let's be honest. Everett looks at you with a sincere smile. I'd say we have a lot to be proud of. The season was one to remember, that's for sure. I can't wait to see it all turns out. Let's cut to the chase and talk about what everyone wants to know. The host suddenly lowers his voice, his tone turning secretive, conspiratorial. Given your past, Everett, we were intrigued when we heard that you'd been going head-to-head with our local Antoine Duval. Ask anyone around and they'll tell you he's a culinary god. Not even... Culinary god. What inspired you to take on this challenge? We wanted to return the favor. Anton was our guest first. As you might have seen, he graciously invited us to make over one of his restaurants for our season finale. So you're saying that you and Anton are friendly collaborators? No bad blood at all? I might be taking it a bit far, but we know a mutually beneficial arrangement when we see one. The host pauses, summing up Everett. It's great to see this new and reformed version of you, Everett. So civil, so mature. We might be civil, but we're not going to hold anything back during the competition. You can count on that. Now, if I heard right, the prize of the winning competition is $25,000. We're not doing this for the money. No, of course not, but it doesn't hurt either. $25,000. That's cute. If they would have said $250,000, this would have made more sense for like a cooking, like, god of culinary, but no. The audience chuckles along with the host. I do wish we had a crystal ball to look into the future, but I'll settle on your thoughts for now. How do you think the competition will turn out? This is my last chance to get people hyped for the show. I think the show will inspire people. We're underdogs, Everett and I. Lots of people like to count Everett out due to his young age when he rose to stardom. Me, I was a line cook only a few months ago. My hope is that people who watch the competition will see that anyone can be a great cook. No barriers. Exactly. All that matters is that you cook with heart. The audience applauds and you lean back in your seat smiling and soaking up the moment. The host grins, considering you. I see now why the show struck such a chord. I admit that I'm especially curious about you, Lucy. Whatever happens, we'll be watching your career very closely. Join the club. Thank you both again for coming on the show. Oh, we wouldn't have missed it for the world. After the show wraps, you head back to the hotel, still exhilarated from being under the hot studio lights. Zara intercepts you. Good work back there. You catapulted the show into must-see TV territory. And without drama, thank you, Zara. Oh, so have I changed your mind about firing me? Don't get snarky with me. You played it smart back there. You came off as a professional, not rookie. You establish your voice as an up-and-comer. Thank you. Didn't want an entire audience underestimating us. We'll see how it pays off tomorrow. With that, Zara heads for the elevator, leaving the two of you alone. Everett checks the time on a giant ornate clock above the lobby. I could go for some dinner. There's a great little place not too far from here. Best food in town. That's saying a lot since we're in Paris. It's local, private. Won't be crawling with tourists. Join me, it'd be nice to have some company. Your company especially. That could be nice. That's right, it's the last chance. Alright, let's have dinner with Amra. Who could pass up a candlelight dinner with Everett Flint? Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Laugh and loop your arm through his as he leads you out of the hotel. Soon you find yourself in the 5th arrondissement inside a maze of secret narrow streets. Everett stops at a little restaurant with a faded sign. This is your secret spot? Never judge a book by its cover. Some of the best books are those that have a lot of wear and tear on them. Everett quickly procures a table from the owner, who ushers you in with a smile. So, this is what it's like being a celebrity. No wait time's best table in the house? No, this is what it's like when you're a regular. I make a point of stopping by whenever I'm in town. Order whatever you like, it's on me. You sure know how to sweeten the deal. We have vegan and adventurous. Girl, come on now. Vegan. Listen, if I have a choice between meat and non-meat, I'm gonna go with meat, especially if I've never had it before. I'll try the tenderloin and risotto. You'll love it. The lemon and herb complement it beautifully. Simplicity at its finest. First time I had the dish, my mentor brought me here and ordered it for me. He was trying to teach me that there's nothing wrong with keeping things simple. If you have fresh ingredients, you can't go wrong. I agree with that. What prompted that lesson? Me trying too hard to be inventive in the kitchen, ignoring the set menu. When we had a full restaurant and many more waiting to be seated. Young Everett, just as ambitious as I'd expect. Everett calls the waiter over, ordering in perfect French. Oh, come on, give me at least an attempt. I've been working on the je ne sais quoi. Merci beaucoup. Oh. I think I could learn something new about you every time we're together. My mother taught me not to show my hand all at once. I learned that from streets. Anyway, and that's street smarts, by the way. Wise woman. The waiter reappears with 2 healthy pours of wine. Drink up, I ordered us the most expensive bottle in the house. Is it a white or red wine? Everett. What? This is our last chance to relax before it all hits the fan. Might as well live it up. You make it sound like the show's gonna be horrible. Not horrible, but my mentor always used to say that if you have the means, you should eat as though every meal will be your last. Yeah, sure, break the bank, then you really will be sitting there going, man, that last meal was great. If you have something you're saving for a special occasion, don't wait, because we're only promised today. Your mentor must mean a lot to you. He does. He passed away a few years ago, but I'll always remember what he taught me in the kitchen in Nola. That's why you were so downhearted when you saw the restaurant had closed. Yes. But at least I got tattooed in his honor. I couldn't forget him if I tried. Your food arrives, and Everett watches you a moment, swirling the wine in his glass. I hope you don't think I'm being down on you. I'm just a pessimist. This competition's personal for me and Anton. Things could get heated and fast. I want you to be prepared. You don't need to worry about me. If I didn't want to be here and be your right-hand man, I wouldn't be here. He looks at you with something like pride. Honestly, I'm surprised you have so much faith in me. You picked me to be your sous chef, even though you could have had anyone. A million accomplished chefs would have jumped at the chance. But they aren't you. We've been through a lot this past season. This past few months, I'm not gonna easily forget the way you showed up. Everett. You're talented, resourceful, smart, and not bad company. Not bad company. That's the highest praise coming from you. And most of all, you're not afraid to tell me when I'm being a pain in the ass. Why would I want someone else when you're right here? With a smile, you finally take a bite of the tenderloin, and the creamy risotto and fresh rosemary make you feel right at home. Lovely. What I tell you, delicious. The two of you dig in, enjoying the food and company. Before you know it, your dishes are cleared, and a beautiful creme brulee is set in front of you. Everett picks up on a golden spoon and gives it to you. Would you do the honors? With pleasure. You take the spoon and hit the caramelized surface of the brulee with a satisfying crack. That's almost always my favorite part. You each get a spoonful, letting the delicate flavors dissolve on your tongue. He takes another sip of his wine, considering you over the rim. This has been really special, Everett. Thank you for inviting me out. Whatever we're up against tomorrow, I'm glad it'll be the two of us in there. No one else. You raise another spoonful of the creme brulee to your lips as he watches you carefully. I think we should take this back to your room. He smiles faintly, then leans further across the table, lowering his voice, the vibration sending thrill through you. I want to bring you back to my room. Lay you down. Touch you. And take my time with you like you deserve. Your breath hitches in your throat, but between the way he's looking at you and the fact that you're very much still in public, you suddenly feel very flushed. You've been thinking about this, haven't you? Everett's eyes burn into yours as he signals for the check. Maybe. Let's get out of here. Yeah, keep in mind if it gets too risque. It's not long before you're stumbling into Everett's hotel suite and throwing your belongings on the ground. You barely have enough time to close the door behind you before he's on you, pushing you against the wall and capturing your lips. In a hurry, are you? Bed now. You laugh with the thrill of it all, dimly aware of a lamp toppling to the floor as you step further into the room together. You push him to sit on the bed in front of you. He gazes up at you with dark eyes. I'm surprised we managed to finish dinner at this rate. Everett merely tugs at your clothing in agreement. You're too far away. You bite your lip as Everett's hands begin to explore you. You clench at the fabric he's wearing, needing something to hold on to. When his belt clatters to the floor, you surge forward, seizing his lips in another kiss. More. I need to see all of you. He pulls back, quickly shedding his shirt and pants. You only have a moment to appreciate his firm muscles before he's tugging off your clothes. Careful, you'll pop the buttons. I'll just buy you a new one. What about if this is one of a kind? Your laugh turns into a sigh when Everett finally touches that sensitive skin of your lower tummy. There's no longer a barrier between you. You're perfect. You can't hold back a groan with each movement of his hand. Your hips rock forward, feeling tingles at the edge of your spine. Do you want more? Yes. Then I better not disappoint. You shudder, holding on tight to his shoulders as he kisses down your neck, leaving love bites along the way. You gently pull away and move onto the bed, lying back onto the pillows. Lucy. I remember you saying something about having your way with me. It got a little red cat, so we had to take it. And you know. Later, you nestle closer to Everett in the bed, satisfied and at ease. With his arms around you, you could almost forget about tomorrow. You didn't miss much, to be honest. I'll be honest about it. I'm glad we get to enjoy Paris, even for just one night. Everett hums beside you, his fingers drawing random shapes on your bare skin. You follow suit, tracing the Roman numeral tattoo across his abdomen. Is that the tattoo for your mentor that you mentioned earlier? Yeah. It's to commemorate his birthday. He always said to remember him by the life he lived and not his death. You turn to look at Everett, the subtle vulnerability in his eyes when you speak. It comes out in a whisper. Thank you for sharing this with me. To answer, he merely pulls you in for another kiss. Stay here tonight. Trust me, I'm not going anywhere. With one last shared smile, the two of you drift off to sleep. The next day, heart pounding, you travel with Everett to the set of Anton's competition. When you get there, you see the production crew setting up and also spot a few familiar faces. Lucy, over here. Ah, there are champs. Oh my gosh, you're really doing this. I didn't know you were all coming. Huh, you think we'd miss this? It's the event of the decade. You're gonna knock it out of the park. Glad we can count on your support. Come on, Everett, don't be so stuffy. We've been through it all together. Everett cracks a smile and you count that as a win. Ah, there they are. You turn and see Zara leading Anton and another man over to you. Beside you, you feel Everett tense up. Bon hiver. Let me introduce my highly accomplished sous chef, Mark Barnett. He works at my restaurant in New York. Good to meet you. Mark looks right past you and addresses Everett. I hope you won't take today's loss too badly, Everett, specifically after last time. Lucy, it's lovely to see you, but don't tell me you're Everett's sous chef. That's me, and I came here ready for a fight. Mark doesn't bother to hide his laughter, now looking you up and down. It's almost cute, coming from the great Everett Flynn's arm piece. Oh, I can't wait to wipe that smug look off your face. Don't worry, Mark, we're ready. Friendly competition? Nah. Question is, are you? You're acting like you're about to sweep the floor up with us. But I'd rather you bring your A game. It'll make meeting you much more satisfying. Keep dreaming. I'm glad we're all acquainted. As Zara pulls Everett and Anton off to the side to discuss logistics, Julia motions for you to join her around the corner. So, that guy's kind of a marker, Anton. Both, obviously. But forget about them. You and Everett have this in the bag. We haven't even heard the rules yet. Look, you wouldn't have come thousands of miles if you didn't know you could do this. Today, you're gonna show the world how great you are. That means so much, Julia. Listen, let's be honest. I mean, her relationship with us is kind of taking a backseat, and Everett's taking the main front, seat. Just kind of throwing that out there. That wasn't our intention. That was kind of what the writers did. So, I'm just thinking about this. I'm gonna make our team proud. I'm not here just for me or Everett. I'm here to represent all of you, the whole show. And that's why we all traveled this way. We're a team for life. Zara approaches from around the corner. Lucy, filming's about to start. Get into position with Everett. Here goes. Julia gives you a thumbs up and heads to the audience. Zara pauses in front of you. Is this the part where you wish me good luck? Just show 'em what you're made of. With a meaningful look, Zara leaves you to join the others in the seating area. You sigh and make your way over to Everett, who's staring daggers into the crowd. Uh-oh. Is there an I Love Anton cheering section? Worse. Your ex-wife. You follow his gaze and see his ex, Nazim, cheering adoringly in Anton's direction. Voices, my love. Don't worry about that. We're here to cook. The audience is just decoration. Just remember, we're gonna beat him at his own game. It doesn't matter what he throws us. We're gonna win this. Everett nods, his eyes lighting up. Dude, she's in the crowd and you got your girl literally cooking right next to you. My dude, priorities! Yes, they can take their elitism and shove it. Everett looks at you with a soft expression, then gently takes your hand in his. Thank you, Lucy. Let's do this. We're gonna kick your ass, Antoine. With the sound of a clapperboard, filming begins. You face the cameras and brace yourself. From the wings, a well-dressed young man appears, his smile blindingly white. Welcome to a very special live episode of Creme de la Creme, starring the one and only Antoine Duval. Tonight, Antoine will go head-to-head with Everett Flint in a culinary battle for the ages. Let's meet the contestants, shall we? He gestures at Antoine, who puffs up his chest and grins at the camera. Oh, he'll throw out his back if he keeps doing that. Listen, he has to be a peacock. Now, we all know who this is. For the sake of posterity, Antoine Duval is the James Beard Award winner and owner of many Michelin-starred restaurants. Some might call me a current authority in all things French cuisine, and I can't say I'd argue with that. Listen! You know I'm not gonna say anything about the French, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm excited to put on a masterclass for all of you in the studio and at home tonight. Indeed, and he'll be assisted by Mark Barnett, who's currently working at Antoine's restaurant in New York. I was an average person like many of you before I became a chef. But look at me now, I'm proof that if you aren't lazy and don't sit on your couch, you can accomplish anything. If you have funds and connections, no doubt. Man, I hate this guy. Next, let's get to the opposing team. The host comes to a stop in front of the two of you. Everett looks directly into the camera, stone-faced. This is the notorious multi-award-winning Everett Flint, whose fiery reputation precedes him. Starting as a young chef with his very own show, Everett is dedicated to championing cuisine all over the world. Very noble. I'm just here to cook a damn good meal and take home the win. No BS. The audience is startled into laughter and applause. The host chuckles as though Everett has said the most amusing thing ever and turns to you. And this is your sous chef, Lucy Adams. Lucy worked as a line cook at a diner not too long ago, but after proving herself early in Everett's new show, she came on board to help the restaurant owners reach their dreams. And now she's chasing her own tonight. I've always had dreams of writing my own cookbook one day, but I wasn't always sure of myself. Then Everett and his film crew appeared, and it changed my life forever. The crowd applauds. I saw their segment on the Show Must Go On. She looks so stylish. I'm rooting for her. Your outfit from the last talk show was memorable. I'm glad we got some people on our side. That'll help my nerves. I may not have all the accolades the others have, but I do have a lot of heart. And I promise you, we're going to cook up something special. You're going to wish you could eat what you see on the screens. I promise you. I bet we will. So the competition will have 4 rounds. Appetizer, main course, second course, and dessert. My favorite part. And did I mention that all the dishes must be completed by a 3-hour mark? Our esteemed judges, chefs, restaurant critics at the top of their field, will taste each dish and rate them. Glad to be here. You know, we're supposed to introduce the judge, not just go judges and just throw random shit on the screen. Bon appetit. What I'm looking for is someone to surprise me. Think you can manage that? At the end, the team with the strongest 4-course meal will walk away with $25,000 and the title of the greatest chefs. Oh boy, the pressure's on now. When I say go, the 3-hour timer will start. Cooking will begin. Ready, set, go! Okay, the timer goes off and you dash to a fully stocked pantry with Everett to start on your appetizer. Wow, do they have every ingredient on Earth here? It's Antoine's way of flexing. He grabs a loaf of bread and some tomatoes. Still, oh, it'll do. Grab some herbs, dried cheese. I have an idea for the appetizer. You scramble to follow his instructions and race back to your cooking station. Everett has bread toasting and is mashing the tomatoes with a fork. Pan con tomato may seem humble, but when done right, it flavors pack a punch. Pan con tomato. You're thinking first press olive oil, manchego, basil, and garlic? Yes, but a smoked sherry glaze. This will elevate our dish from rustic to extraordinary. Can you manage? Yes, chef. You quickly start on a basic glaze, mix honey, soy sauce, in a saucepan for a perfect mixture of sweet and salty. Let's punch it up with some booze. You reach for the nearby liquor bottles, trying to remember which liquor Everett asked for. Hold on. Sherry, Vermont, sherry. He said sherry glaze. You grab the bottle of sherry and carefully tip it into the saucepan. Instantly, there's a sweet, tart aroma in the air. That's what I'm talking about. You do a taste test, finding a perfect, smoky, sweet flavor. I wish we could eat this whole dish ourselves. Time for that later. Here. He takes the pan and pours the glaze lovingly onto the tomatoes and bread, topping it with a drizzle of olive oil and sea salt flakes. Beautiful. You finish plating just as a timer for the round runs out. Quickly gather your dish and bring it over to the judges. Right as you're about to set your plate down, Mark steps in front of you, cutting you off. Hey! Oh, didn't see you there. He sets his dish down with a flourish. You scowl, setting yours down. It's just you. Realize they've served 2 dishes. Anton's appetizer and first course. How did they find the time? Everett, look, they finished the appetizer and the first main course. If they want to rush into a lackluster job, let them. All right, everyone, I believe we're ready for the first round of judging. What a spread! Our appetizer is a sunchuck confit topped with foam, Parmigiano Reggiano, and peppermint with white truffle shavings. First main course, which you will love, I assure you, is a masterful composition. Crayfish, peaky toe crab topped with caviar, puffed buckwheat, and pearls of cognac. Please enjoy. The judges take careful bites of each dish. Their faces line up with their first forkful. Oh, the appetizer's divine. The texture of the crab and salt-cured linguine are unlike anything I've tasted before. Bravo! You've outdone yourself, Anton. And Mark. Sounds like a glowing review from the judges. Let's see if your competitors are up to the challenge. We are. We have a rye pan con tomato for your enjoyment. You set your appetizer down in front of them. Our intention is to bring out the purest flavor of vine-ripened heirloom tomatoes. And the perfect canvas, toasted rye with cold pressed olive oil, manchego cheese, and a cherry smoked cherry glaze. I would eat it. That looks kind of like a pizza, but better. Seriously, it looks good. Looks good. Almost worth it. Breaking my diet for. The judges give it a taste. Lovely, the glaze. Give it a unique flavor. Oh, I quite like the simplicity, the rustic aspect, the crunch of the bread, the fresh ingredients combined. Thank you all. Yeah, but the third judge never spoke. Ah, there we go. I concur, although I'd like to see you and Everett challenge yourselves in the next round. Okay. Are there layers of complexity you can add? How can you step outside your comfort zones? Anton and Mark have started so strong, so if you have any cards left, we suggest you play them. Tough words from our judges. Thank you. We'll take that into consideration. One judge nods, grateful for your respectful tone. See that you do. Girl Girl, you didn't say shit. You said it was amazing. The other guy said it was amazing. This woman over here is like, I'm gonna add some layers. As you back away from the judge's table, Everett nudges you. Tough crowd. Nice work handling them. No problem. This is nothing compared to handling unhappy customers at the diner. True. When you're back at the station, you glance over at Antoine and Mark, seeing them into their second main course already. Yeah, but what's the point of hurrying that fast if you're still doing it all within the 3-hour mark? How are we going to catch up? We're an entire course behind. By making gourmet sabzi, the Persian stew? Everett grunts in conversation, grabbing a heavy-bottomed pan and setting it on the stove. It's one of my standby recipes. It's delicious, but you don't want to create something new? That's what they asked for, isn't it? Not with a full course ahead. We're running short on time. Everett steps around you to head into the pantry, and you pause, biting your lip. If we want to win, we can't rely on dishes we've made a million times. This is our time to go all out. That's what the judges want. Diamond choice. What in the hell? What in the hell is that? Alright, we're about to find out. Get inspiration to create a new signature dish. You step in front of Everett on his way to the pantry. Lucy, stop playing around. Everett, you're going to go into autopilot. We need to think about our next move. No time. Anton and Mark are ahead. I know. That's why we really need to make our first main course count. Gourmet sabzi is a good standby, but it's also safe. I'm just saying. We need to take our own advice. How many times did we tell the restaurant owners to get out of their comfort zone and put a personal twist on their dishes? Yeah, you know she's right, my dude. Yep, every time. We can't be hypocrites now, can we? Everett nods, determined. Okay. I hear you. Let's kick it up a notch. The two of you rush back to the pantry, gathering ingredients on instinct. We can use the gourmet sabzi as inspiration, but how's it usually prepared? You add a truckload of parsley, cilantro, scallions to the pot, which turns everything a dark green. Okay, well that sounds awesome. It is, but it's not complete until you add a fenugreek and dried Parisian limes. Hi, brain. I'd like to talk. Jesus. You ever have a brain fart where your brain just like... Looks good. Little... I don't know. It looks weird. Like, versus their other images. But alright. Top it off with saffron and you have a meal. You nod, making a note of this for your cookbook later. Okay, that's a good base. Let's stick with some of the essentials in that dish. Beans, fresh herbs. I'm thinking something more like a salad than a stew. And then we add a little lime, crunchy greens for texture. See, it's coming together already. Everett follows you back to your station, loaded of radicchio and microgreens in his arms. You start cooking your mix of heirloom beans and gathering herbs for the rest of the dish. How do we want to plate this? Half of the fun of fine dining are the visuals. You take out your notebook to sketch out a few ideas. I like the way I look at your stew you mentioned. We could play with the rich green color from the herbs. Herbs, radicchio could be our own little island in a sea of green and purple tones. We could crisp up some saffron to go up on top. Between that and the other color of the dishes, it'll look like a work of art. Heirloom beans and selling. An array of heirloom beans, gigante, scarlet runner, Appaloosa, chestnut lima, with microgreen herbs, crisp radicchio, earthy Peruvian lime. Inhale this green, flourishing garden like pedricor after the rain. I'm sorry, what's a pedricor? Don't get me wrong, it looks nice, but You created a dish for your cookbook. We have a plan. The two of you work in comfortable silence, side by side. Studio lights, the cameras, audience, the boisterous calls from Antoine Station fade away. We're about ready. Everett does a quick taste test of the combined ingredients and looks up, brow furrowed in thought. It's missing something. You're right. The beans need a kick to them. Let's dress the beans in something that reflects our personalities, that reminds the judges of home. Okay, so if the beans need a kick to them. I think something spicy, but reflects our personalities, reminds them of home. Depends on your home life, really, so let's go with personality. Something new. What, stoic and nosy? I was thinking more lively and youthful. So is zesty vinaigrette. Interesting choice. The rest of the dish is so earthy and crisp, it'll definitely help put it all together. Good thinking. Grab a bowl and quickly whisk red wine, vinegar, shallots, olive oil, and sumac together. You toss the beans in it and give it another taste. Perfect. Once Everett carefully places the crisped saffron atop the dish, you take it over to the judges and you present it with a proud smile. Please enjoy our first main course. Savory heirloom beans in a nest of greens. Let's hope this was worth the risk. You wait with bated breath as the judges take delicate bites of the dish. One even closes his eyes, chewing with deep consideration. Come on, say something good. Shh. Patience. This is impressive. These beans are seasoned beautifully. How did you turn such a humble ingredient to dot? This is quite the comeback. I'm glad you liked it. Would you believe it if I told you we came up with it on the fly? You're kidding! With the judges looking suitably impressed, the two of you step away from the table. When you're out of earshot, Everett snores. What? Am I laying it on too thick? No, I think every bit of theatricality helps, but we gotta finish strong. With the first main course out of the way, you and Everett rush back to the pantry to gather ingredients for the second course. You catch a glimpse of Everett, straining his neck to look at Antoine Station. What do you, elf eyes, see? They're making a roasted vegetable dish with Antoine's favorite accessory, gold leaves. It's boring, safe. We need to go bolder. He snaps his fingers suddenly, eyes going wide. Savory ice cream. No one will see it covering. We want to tell a story with our work. The challenge is about the cohesive nature with our 4 dishes. This'll fit right in. Right. Especially with all the herbs we've been using. Plus the savory ice cream would be one hell of a primer for our dessert. Could you get it started? I'll make the homemade cones. Maybe some candied flowers. The two of you part ways, both deep in thought. You quickly add heavy cream, black pepper, basil, thyme in a mixer. Once it's incorporated, you pour it into a bowl and rush it over to the freezer, nestling it in the bags of ice. And now we wait. Later, you rush to the freezer to check on the ice cream. Gotta hurry, there's not much time left. You crack open the door to see that someone has set a hot cast iron pan right on top of your bowl. No! You fling the door open, reach for the pan, nearly burning your fingers to move it out of the way, and inside the bowl is a melted mess. You try to arrange it with a newly baked waffle cone, but it's no use. Chefs have to improvise on the fly. Damn it! You stare down at the bowl, down at the empty cast iron pan that Antoine Station, where Mark is looking back at you with a smug grin. How's the dessert coming along, Adams? Sure hope there are no any fires you need to put out. Those bastards, they're so going down. You created 9 out of 10. Yeah. We'll get the last one. We'll get it. Little prick, I'm gonna come over to your station and beat the shit out of you with this cast iron. It's okay. Shh, it's alright. Shh. I know we'll win. Because we use diamonds. That's how this shit works, right? Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, let me know your thoughts. I know, some of you are going, wow, took you a while, didn't it, you know? Yeah, no, listen, there's been a lot of things happen. Just TLDR, pretty much without support of a few viewers, we wouldn't have had content at all. Hate to tell you this. So, our channel would have been DOA. We would have been like, hey, you guys would have had all the content that I had done, and that pretty much would have been it. So, again, hopefully each and every one of you do enjoy the work that I put in. And, you know, I know some of you who have, you know, really stepped up to help because of the issues that have just befallen. I know that you guys must enjoy the content if you stepped up to do so. So again, your support really means the world to me, and not just me, but this community, this family that we have here. So, hey, also consider checking out the join feature that's on the channel. It's a great way of going through YouTube. It's an official thing, and you get representation, and you know, even shout-outs and whatnot, which I would like to go ahead and shout out one such person is Sasuke Uchi. Basically is a person who is a part of the membership that is on the channel. And I really want to, you know, give them a shout out. So once again, thanks to them for actually supporting the channel via the membership option. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.